Hey there, and welcome to exercise number 59. In this one, we need to write a function named pickNested that receives two parameters. The first one is an object we're going to call data, and the second one is a string representing a nested path through our data object, and we're going to call this parameter path. The function should return the value of the property at the given path. If there is no property there, the function should return undefined. Note, this is similar with the pickFields function, so I have another exercise here that's kind of similar with this one, but a little bit more complex as it is dealing with nested objects. So I added this note here that in case you solve this exercise, then it might seem familiar. Below I have an example. So if this is our data object, you can see is an object with name, age, and then address is another object which has city and country. And our path is this one, address.country, the output should be USA because if we go in our data object and we go into address and then at country, we get USA. Now below we have another example, this one involving arrays. So our data object has one property countries that is an array of objects, both with each object with two properties as well, capital and name. And our path string is countries.to.capital, then we go into our data object, we go to the countries key, we go to the element at index 2, and then we go to the capital property, which is Amsterdam, and as you can see here in the output. Now, if you want to solve this exercise for yourself, click on the link in the description. If not, keep watching and we're going to solve it together. I'm going to go here into the right side, into the code area. And the first thing I want to do is let's create a new variable actually with let. I'm going to call it result, and this is going to be data. Now, we're going to have to do a while, right? We're going to have to keep going deeper and deeper into our result object. But first, before I do that, I need to split the path because I know the dot character is used as a delimiter, right? So I have a dot here and I can see, okay, this one is a delimiter, and as well here. So let's create a new variable. I'm going to say path parts, and it's going to be path.split dot. And then I'm going to say while path parts dot length is bigger than 0, so as long as I still have path parts, I'm going to say const next path is path parts dot shift, I think, removes the first element. Let's see. Come on, VS Code. Remove the first element from an array and return is it. Okay, so as long as I have elements here, I'm going to get the next one. So I'm going to start right from the left side. I'm going to get it, and then I'm going to see, okay, can I use it to go in my object? So I'm going to say if let's say we're going to do something like, okay, you know what? Let's pause a bit. So before I continue the code, the idea is this. I have a path, and the only data types that make sense for me to keep going right deeper are arrays or objects, right? If I have a string, let's say Bob, I cannot do like Bob dot something because of course, yeah, it doesn't really make sense, right? It's like a string. It doesn't have anything inside of it. So I'm going to put here an if. I'm going to say if array dot is array of result, or type of result is equal with object and result is different than null, then I can keep going, right? I can say result is result of next path. So I'm going to change the value of result. I'm going to go deeper one level. What do I need also to do? I need to verify if this one is undefined. Okay, yeah, so I go down one level. Okay, then after this if, I'm going to do it like this. I'm going to say if result is undefined, that means I reached the point and I cannot go any deeper, and I'm going to say return undefined. Do I need to do that actually? Let's think about it. So I'm going to change the result. I'm going to go here and I'm going to say if array of array is this, otherwise, actually, return undefined. I don't need this. And at the end, I'm going to return result. I think this makes sense. So I take my path, I split it using the delimiter, then I iterate, I have a while loop, I take each path starting from the beginning one by one. If I can go deeper, so if I'm in an array or in an object, I'm gonna go deeper. Okay. Otherwise, if I cannot, I'm gonna return undefined. So I reach the point and I cannot go any deeper. Maybe I'm at a number, maybe I'm at a string, a boolean, whatever. So it doesn't make sense to continue. Then it's gonna iterate. When this is done, it means I reached the end. So I'm gonna return what I have there. Now, this being said, let's test our function. So I'm gonna say console log pickNested off. And let's do here, I'm gonna take the first one here, data, and I'm gonna say this one. And we get USA. Okay, this is very good. Now let's take the second example. So I'm gonna take this one and address.country is undefined. That's correct. Let's say countries.capital, Amsterdam. Let's put here a free. This shouldn't exist, so we should get undefined. Cool. And now let's actually test that maybe, let's say the capital is not Amsterdam, it's null. And maybe I get 2.capital, I should get null. So it looks okay. Now let's test our solution and voila, it works. Cheers and see you in the next one.